You're sure you want to do this? Of course I do, Commissioner. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. He's going to be executed in a few weeks, so this is my only chance. I don't mean the interview. I mean being alone with him. If I'm going to do this properly, it needs to be just the two of us. That's all I ask for, Commissioner. That, and could you maybe not listen in on us? What? You seriously think you can... Whatever.
So, how are you today?
You've got balls, kiddo.
What?
You know, balls, otherwise known as the sack, or as I like to call it, the bag of tricks.
We're off to a great start. Not even a minute in and you're already doing the sick jokes.
What's the matter? You got something against jokes? Because, buddy, if you don't like jokes, you made a big mistake talking to me.
I don't care for jokes in any form. I like to think of myself as a serious, mature person.
We'll have to fix that somehow, won't we?
Can we begin, please? Now, I'm stating for the record that my name is Thomas Weiner and I... Yes, I know, it's a rather silly name.
Not to mention appropriate.
Look, don't get started on that, okay? I'm here today to ask you a few questions and to, in general, just get to know who you are. Since you have stated a reluctance to give up any specific personal info, I'm not going to be able to make a biography per se, but I can at least publish whatever you do decide to tell me.
Wait. Aren't you that one guy? The one who wrote that biography of Bruce Wayne?
Ah, so you have heard of me. Yes, I am.
Wonderful book, by the way. Couldn't stop laughing. You have a talent for writing bullshit.
Okay, that's enough. I'm trying to be serious here, and you're just being a
Joker? You were gonna say Joker, weren't you?
Shut up! So, I had a list of things to ask you. Most of them are open-ended psychological questions, just intended to glean a little of what kind of person you are. Got it? Yeah, I got it. Good. So, first one. A man and a woman are deeply in love. You have a crush on the woman, but she has no interest in you due to the aforementioned relationship. Uh-huh. One day, you are summoned to a secret meeting with her, and she confesses that she wants to make love to you. You know that the other man cares about this woman more than anything, and if he were to learn of her cheating on him, it would devastate him. So what do you do?
Well, there's a number of things to take into account. Is the other man cheating on her? Is the woman doing this to spite the man? Did she find out something about him that she didn't like? There's a million different scenarios here. How do you expect me to say what I do when I don't know all the specifics?
I know what you're doing. Stop your joking around and just follow the program.
You need more humor in your life. Haven't you ever heard of the healing power of laughter? That's why jokes are so important.
I don't care. I want you to...
But never, ever repeat a joke. And never, ever explain it. That'll get you thrown out a window.
Is that a threat?
Thing is, the brain is designed to match patterns. When something comes along that disrupts that pattern, that's where laughter comes from. It's a natural reaction to the unexpected. That's why jokes aren't as funny the second time, because now we know the new pattern.
Look, I really don't care about the...
So just imagine for a moment that the world is a brain. Can you do that? Humor me, humor me. I know it's really hard, but...
Okay. I'm now imagining the world as a giant brain.
So, with that image in your head, I want you to imagine something disrupting that pattern. Like I mentioned. What pops into your head?
I got nothing.
That thing, the unexpected thing that shatters the previously established pattern, that's me. Now you know why I call myself the Joker.
Except your sense of humor is based on terror, sadism, and murder.
So?
So you're failing to make people laugh, which, if you really are the joke and the world is a brain, is your goal, right?
That's not my fault. Everyone just fails to see the funny side. I'm trying to enlighten people through pain and suffering. When a person is murdered, when a person dies a tragic death, that's true humor. Because you see, life itself is a joke. A monstrous, demented gag. Why can't others see it? Beats me.
And you think you're helping people realize that.
Well, that's the hope.
I see. I need to give you the other two questions. I'm just going to skip the first one. Obviously, that one isn't right for you. Hopefully, the next one will be better. So, here we go. You're invited to a birthday party. You brought the person a gift, but they don't like your gift. They tell you to leave. How do you respond?
I get a different gift. Duh.
Like what?
Oh, your typical severed head of a loved one. Nothing too fancy.
I should have seen that coming.
See, that's your problem. You concentrate too much on what's going to happen next. Where's the fun in knowing the future? I find it sickening when people say they know what's going to happen. We're not meant to know what's around the bend.
I'm getting tired of this. Last question. You're driving home for Christmas when you get a flat tire. You don't have any cell phone or a spare. You have no choice but to hitchhike. So you flag down a car, get in, putting your gifts in the trunk. But not long later, the driver stabs you in the chest with a pen and pushes you outside, driving off with your gifts.
Wow.
So what would you do in that situation? And please be honest.
I'd laugh.
What?
Great, now you're going deaf. I said I'd laugh. I'd get the joke that a supposed good Samaritan would screw me over like that. You see, Mr. Wiener.
It's Weiner!
Whiner. You see, the world is nothing but those people. Deep down, everyone has a monster. It just takes a little push to bring it out. That's what I like to do. I get inside people. I find out what their little demons are, and I unleash them.
You're despicable.
Flattery will get you nowhere, Mr. Wiener.
I told you, it's...
I'm sorry, Mr. Weiner, but we need to cut this short. Dr. Quinzel needs to see him.
All right.
Did you find out what you needed to know?
More or less. But as much as I hate to say it, I think I'll need to talk to him again. We've got more to discuss.
Fine, but he needs to see his doctor.
What am I getting myself into? Well, I guess I'll see you again soon.
Looking forward to it. Believe me. Whiner.
Clown.
What's this supposed to be?
I need you to sign that. It's a release that gives me permission to publish the content of our little discussions. Gordon won't allow me to continue talking with you without your written consent.
So, if I refused, that would mean I'd never talk to you again?
That's the idea.
You've caught my curiosity, Mr. Wiener. This could be a fun experience. Besides, I need something to do before I depart this world. So why the hell not?
I'm thrilled. Here's a pen. I'd like the pen back too. You wrote a bunch of ha-ha-has.
Your point being?
Whatever. So, the commissioner's given me a limited time to speak with you today, so we need to get right to the meat of the matter.
And what would that be, pray tell, Mr. Wiener?
I'd like to ask you about your family.
That's twice now.
Excuse me?
You seem to be unfazed.
Why would I be? Did you do something to offend me?
I, never mind. So, my family, huh? You're gonna need a bigger book to hold that sob story.
Just as I hoped. So, what can you tell me?
Where do we begin? After all, there are so many beginnings to choose from.
What do you mean?
If I'm gonna have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice. So the question is, which one to choose?
Now, that's not going to work. I don't need one of your made-up stories. I need the real thing.
Then you're out of luck, Wiener, because my past is non-linear.
Do you seem to think calling me that will upset me somehow?
Are you feeling well? You seem different from last week.
I don't know what you're talking about. Now, you clearly aren't interested in taking your past seriously, so we'll move on to a different thing.
Did you get in some accident? Did you have a spiritual reawakening? Did you get a divorce?
I'm confused.
All I'm saying is, you completely changed since I last saw you.
I'm afraid you're mistaken. I'm the same as ever.
I'll eventually find out what's going on here, Wiener. You can't act oblivious forever. I'll get you to crack. You'll see.
I'm sure. Anyways, let's move on. The asylum was kind enough to give me some of Dr. Harleen Quinzel's observations on you. They could be helpful for my book.
I I don't like that.
That your personal therapist is sharing her notes about you?
That stuff's supposed to be confidential.
Apparently the usual rules of psychotherapy don't apply to you. But you approve of that, I'm sure. From what she says in here, you don't exactly like rules in any form.
There's exceptions to everything.
Not this time. So, let's see what she has to say here. Patient 7168 is a textbook case of sociopathy. He also shows certain traits of Asperger's syndrome, mainly through his fixative, obsessive behaviors and difficulty with, and sometimes outright refusal to, understand social cues and etiquette.
Now, hold on just a second.
He has expressed a distaste for society's standards concerning morality and social expectations. The patient is extremely argumentative, taking pleasure from others' annoyance.
In my own defense,
He has a tendency to launch into rhetorical monologues. His speech pattern is replete with verbal tics and constant changes in focal pitch,
that has nothing to do with
and the patient shows a disturbing level of satisfaction with who he is. He has no sense of empathy or emotion towards others, and feels no remorse for his crimes. In conclusion, I have chosen to categorize the subject known as the Joker as a malignant narcissist.
I see what's going on here. I know what you're doing. Your facade has fallen.
What?
You came in here with a smug, superior, unfazed attitude in the hope that, when I'm unable to get a reaction, I would cease to try getting on your nerves. Am I right?
You know, I think we're actually out of time. Gordon wanted a word with me after this, and I shouldn't keep him waiting.
Leaving already? I'm so offended. We were just finally getting to know each other.
Seriously, though, I really should go. I'll see you next week.
Same time, same channel.
Hello? Oh, hi, Tam. How's Metropolis? Oh, really? Oh, I bet. I'm doing fine. I'm doing all right. I've just been working, you know. You know, the interviews. Yeah, yeah, it's very stressful. I'm not really sure how much I should be telling you, but he's definitely a character. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's understandable. I mean, well, what do you mean? Do you? I've told you this like 50,000 times, Tam. I don't. I'm not worried. Okay, it's not that bad. I mean, he's obviously a pain in the ass, yes, but it comes with the territory, you know. Please don't say that, please. Look, I really don't want to get into another philosophical debate with you, Tam. I'm not in the mood for it. I mean, it's like, what time is it anyway? It's it's like 12:45 at night. Look, I need to get some sleep because I'm going to be seeing him tomorrow, and seriously, you don't help when you talk like this. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to you. It's. Look, I understand that you're worried and that you. I mean, frankly, I'm kind of touched that you are afraid for my safety. It's just, look, I think I can handle myself. You still don't seem to get the fact that this is a huge opportunity for me. I mean, seriously, if this book that I'm working on were to get published and become a hit, we'd be set for life. Don't you realize that? Tam, please, just try to understand what I'm doing here. I know you don't care, but I care. That's the thing. Look, you need to just lower your voice, okay? Lower your goddamn voice. Lower your voice. I'm not going to talk about this right now. I'm really tired. I need to get sleep before I go see him. How's your sister doing? I was trying to change the subject. Look, if you're not going to talk rationally with me about this, then I'm just not going to talk to you, okay? Look, I hope you have a good time over there. I heard Metropolis is a nice place. Um, their pizza is supposed to be incredible. I mean, uh, I don't know. Maybe you could get a tour of the Daily Planet or something like that. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure Sarah would like that. Yeah, yeah, that sounds like fun. So you're going to be coming back when? Okay, okay, that sounds fine. I mean, uh, I should, I really should go, honey. I'm sorry. I'm, I really don't like the fact that half the time we're arguing with each other now. I, look, I'm sorry, but this is really important to me. Okay? I don't know. Maybe when you get back, we can do something. Okay? I mean, I know Gotham isn't exactly the best place to go for a nice dinner, but I don't know. There's one place. I mean, I know Bruce Wayne has been there a couple times, so it's at least got a little bit of prestige in that regard. I mean, Hell, I think even Harvey Dent went there once, so that's a big place. In fact, didn't I think Wayne and Dent were there together? But I don't know. We could go there. I don't know. I mean, if you want to do something, I can do something with you. I understand. Okay, okay. I'll I'll see if we can get arrangements, and then we'll just see what happens. I mean, I hope it works out, and I do hope you have a good time over there. I mean, Sarah's a nice girl. She deserves to have a good time with you. Yes, and so do you. Okay, Tam. I love you. All right. Bye bye.
Jesus, what happened to you?
This is what happens when you schedule me for an interview right after exercise hour. Sweat doesn't go well with makeup.
I'll keep that in mind. Well, today I wanted to start off with telling you that I feel like we've gotten off on the wrong foot. I was hoping you'd accept an apology from me for my behavior towards you. I hope to turn this into a positive experience for both of us. After all, you only have a few weeks left.
I don't need you to make my last days pleasurable. My last few months at this asylum have been wonderful. They've allowed me to wear my suit and makeup. They provide the best food an asylum has to offer, which isn't saying much, admittedly. They even give me books to read.
You realize that's because they want to get on your good side. By pandering to you, they hope you won't give them any trouble before your execution.
I know that. And even if they weren't, I have no intention of doing anything. My death? I'm looking forward to it.
Really? Why is that?
Let's wind back the clocks a month. I've been in the asylum for quite a while, and when word breaks that the government plans to keep me caged in here, everybody loses their minds! The people of Gotham are demanding my blood, and the schemers make the decision to kill me off like I'm some comic book character to placate the masses.
And you're fine with that? Really?
Well, if I'm gonna go, I might as well go by popular demand.
So there's nothing or nobody in this world that you'll miss after you're gone. Surely you have a family out there. Do they know what you've become? Do they approve? Will they miss you?
You know the thing about death? When it happens, when that tiny little spark disappears, nothing matters anymore. It's complete total freedom. There's no rules, no schemers, no teachers, no limitations, no Tom, Dick, or Harry getting in your way or telling you how to act. It's the ultimate existence without rules. So yes, I'm looking forward to death, because then I'll be truly free.
You didn't answer my question. Do you have any family out there that would miss you?
My family is dead.
Oh.
I didn't do it.
Well, that's a relief. How did they die, if you don't mind me asking?
It was meant to be. Let's put it that way.
I see. Did you grow up in the Narrows, perchance?
Do I look like I grew up in the ass crack of Gotham?
Frankly, yes.
Where do you live? That's what I want to know. Oh, don't worry. I won't come after you. You can trust me.
I live in the city. Me and my wife have a penthouse.
I take it you've got money then. Is that all you care about?
My family is wealthy, yes.
See, I don't think money makes a man. Money is just a physical item that morons fight tooth and claw over because they don't have anything better to do with their lives. I don't give a damn about money because I've got a higher purpose than simple greed. But if laughter was gold, I'd buy an island and retire.
My family happens to be one of Gotham's wealthiest, second to the Wayne Empire. I didn't choose to grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was just lucky.
Lucky? You call that lucky? Wiener, if you were really lucky, you'd grow up in the most vile, maggot-infested dumpster of a neighborhood, where kids would beat you up every day on the way from school, and your teachers would treat you like you were some kind of freak.
Can we not get on that line of thought?
Right. Supposed to cut down on the monologues. Dr. Quinzel's homework. So, let's talk about something upbeat. How about your wife? Is she cute? Or is she a pig-faced tramp?
Be careful. If you must know, she's gorgeous.
I'm just gonna take your word for it?
Okay, fine. This is her.
Impressive. Most impressive.
Thanks. She's wonderful. Well, most of the time.
Ah, so it's not the perfect, proper Disney fairy tale relationship.
Every relationship has issues.
But you're not happy.
It's very complicated.
Well then, uncomplicate it for me.
I don't feel comfortable talking about.
That's definitely a bad sign, when talking about your own wife is cause for discomfort. Does that sound like a healthy, happy, till death do us part relationship to you?
Don't twist my words. It's not like that at all. I just have.
Jesus.
This pocket is so tight.
No, stop! Give that back! Evening, Miss Weiner. Please give it back. Let me. Is your husband available? Oh, I'm afraid so. But I'm the one who answered, so you're gonna have to speak to me. Please. I understand perfectly, Missy. But talking to your hubby is not in the cards right now. If you don't mind, I'd just like to listen to your voice for a bit. Do you ever read poetry, perchance? You have a lovely poetry reading voice. I do love Milton. That's enough. Give it back. Oh, what's that? I'm being a what? Sorry, I can't hear people when they give unconstructive criticism. But while you're here, I might as well give you a little message. I've recently had the pleasure of speaking to your dope of a husband, Tommy. We visit once a week and have the most stimulating discussions. And he talks about you quite a bit, actually. He says things are not going well. Not one bit. Well, Missy, I'm going to give it to you straight. Continue being a bitch, and I might just be tempted to do something naughty. Most likely involving you. But who knows? I might just disembowel a kitten or something random like that. I like random. Keeps things interesting. Remember my words, Miss Weiner, and start asking yourself, why so serious? How dare you threaten my wife? You'll thank me later. I should strangle you right now. But you know what? That's what you want, and I'm not going to sink to that level. So what I'm going to do is get out of here and see you next week, pretending this never happened. Oh, believe me, I'm going to forget this little session before the day's done. But I will not forget that pretty wife of yours. Delicious. So, what's it be today? The neurotic wiener? The serious wiener? The not quite amiable, but still giving it a damn good go wiener? I'm intrigued.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Don't suppose you've read this either. You being as rich as you are, you only have the worst education available.
What is it?
This is the asylum's only copy of The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I was lucky enough to grab it before someone else put dibs on it.
I've never read Wilde. I'm more of a Mark Twain kind of guy.
You'd really choose a guy who writes softcore gay literature with hits called Huck over a hardcore gay genius?
Hey, some of my best friends are gay.
Your personal best friends?
I have a wife, as you very well know.
Oh, now that you mention her, how's she been behaving since our little talk?
We weren't going to mention that.
Oh, but I didn't. I just happened to have another little talk with her the night after our last interview.
What?
I don't know if you knew this, but she's got a lot of pent-up desire.
How could you possibly have called?
It's me, remember?
You're under watch 24 hours a day. There's no way you could have called her. It's impossible.
You're smarter than you look, Wiener. You've passed my little test of competence.
I'm not going to fall for your traps. Why don't you talk to me about the book? It would be good for me to understand your literary preferences.
Why's that? So you can gain passage into my exquisite mind? Well, buddy, the price of admission's quite high.
For heaven's sake, I just want to find some common ground. Please, just tell me what you like about the book.
Well, Wiener, it's simple. Nobody knows anything. Wilde later wrote that it is best to know nothing over everything, and by the end of this charming novella, nobody has a goddamn clue what the portrait is, why Dorian's now a delightful heap of decayed flesh when once he was the most repulsive Adonis, and why Wilde took out a civil lawsuit that could spell prison for him if he lost. Not that the book concerns the latter, but it still stands. Nobody can or should know anything, Wiener. We live in an age where information is so dangerously accessible that we have forgotten about the virtues of ignorance. Ignorance spawns fear, Wiener. And fear is the only way that people can be taught the truth about this world. Batman knew this, but he wanted to harm the masses by preaching about hope. Hope doesn't work, Wiener. It just doesn't. Do you think that hope can save you from a gang of burly policemen and tyrannical activists?
I wouldn't think so.
Precisely. Which is why Oscar is so great. He promotes ignorance and does not pollute people's minds with naive fallacies. Truly, he was a god.
You must be joking.
Do I look like I'm joking?
So he was basically a creativity anarchist.
You make it sound so simple. He wasn't just blabbing about the evil of control, he did it with eloquence. Eloquence is something missing from a lot of artists nowadays. We've got actors, painters, musicians. Most of them are just stuck-up, socially inept, and morally retarded pieces of garbage.
You think you're any better? At least they don't kill people.
Maybe they ought to try it. I think killing should become a recreational sport. It'd be one hell of an anger-releasing exercise, I can tell you that.
What is it that makes killing desirable to you? What do you find enjoyable about it?
I kill people because it's how I cheer myself up.
So you have self-esteem issues?
Did I say that? No. No, 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 no. I just have a different sense of humor than most. Society thinks it's questionable, but I'm just being me. Doesn't society also preach that it's good to just be yourself? So which is it, society? I'm getting confused here.
I'm sorry that you've ended up like this, but I don't think society is to blame.
Of course not. You slept in a golden crib as a baby. Society adores fools like you. And don't get me started on that Wayne schmuck.
I'll have you know, Bruce Wayne is a fine person. A little snarky and laid back, sure, but he was very helpful when I interviewed him for my book.
I wonder if he's ever read Oscar. I ought to send him a copy of this.
Maybe I should read it sometime. Could teach me a few things.
Oh, I dunno. Your head might explode from exposure to pure brilliance. Someone would have to clean that up.
I think I will. This wild guy sounds intriguing. He certainly has made an impression on you.
Is this another one of your harebrained attempts to figure out how my mind works? Why don't you just invent some device that can allow you to travel into my dreams if you're so curious? I guarantee you'll have a blast.
I actually need to get going. I'm taking Tam out tonight and I can't be late.
Wait. So I'm not invited? I'm hurt, Wiener.
I bet you are.
Well then, may I request you pass along a little message?
And what would that be?
I'll never forget how wonderful it was.
What?
Oh, yeah, right. Damn it. We were going to pretend that I was joking earlier about talking to your wife. Cat's out of the bag.
God damn it, did you talk to her or not?
Well, I definitely called. I wouldn't say we talked, though. But I guess that depends. Does describing what happens between your legs count as talking?
You're joking again. I just know it.
Fine, believe whatever you want. Now run off, little wiener. Don't leave her waiting. You'd be a bad husband if you did that.
Better than you could ever be. I'll see you next week. Enjoy your book. Why the hell is it taking so long? Jesus.
Get in there!
What the hell are you doing?
Next time you joke about my family, clown, I'll tear off your balls and feed them to you myself.
What was that about?
He can't take a joke.
Gordon told me you were in a session with Dr. Quinzel, so I decided to wait in here. Does that guard always escort you to this room?
Next time I'll put puke in his sandwich. That'll make him laugh.
How was your session?
Oh, nothing special. Just more therapy.
You don't find it helpful?
Would you find it helpful?
I guess not. Do you want to just stay there, or would you like me to get your seat?
Oh, I think I'll just lie here for a while.
Then I'll stay here with you.
As long as you don't make me mad.
Don't worry, I wouldn't dare. So, besides the fact you don't get along well with the guards here, how's your week been?
Monotony is the theme here, Wiener. Nothing ever changes. But I'm curious, how was your dinner with the missus? Did I come up at all? The answer better be yes.
I hoped you wouldn't ask about that.
Oh, good. So, it went terribly, I presume? How delightful. When can we expect the divorce?
Oh, give me a break. It wasn't that bad.
If there's one thing my experience with women has ever taught me, it's that things either go great or not at all. If there's even the slightest hint that you don't get along, that's the signal to get out of Dodge while you're still sane.
You're a fine one to talk about sanity.
What was that?
Nothing. Sorry, just slipped out. I know you hate being called crazy.
The word crazy has negative connotations. That's why I don't like it. I prefer to be labeled, if I'm gonna be labeled at all. Unique. That could be considered positive or negative. Not quite so discriminatory.
Look at you talking about discrimination and tolerance. You were making homophobic jokes literally 2 weeks ago.
Does that offend you, Wiener?
I have gay friends, so yeah, I'd say I'm very offended. Hypocrisy and intolerance are both bad enough, but when mixed together into a person like you, yeah, it's pretty insulting.
How does your wife feel about the matter? She probably thinks they're hot.
Actually, she's quite homophobic herself. I've never told her about my pals.
That sounds like ingredients for a divorce right there. Secrets, secrets, secrets. That's not how marriage works, kiddo. At least, society says so. Personally, I'm all for secrets. As I said before, it's more fun when you don't know everything.
Sometimes you have to have secrets in a marriage. If I told my wife every little thing about myself, she'd probably hate my guts.
So what the hell are you doing with her? What foolish delusion made you think she was the one?
She's very pretty and can be funny when she's in a good mood. And my parents wanted me to marry her. She had money and they wanted me to be with someone like us, not some commoner, as they put it.
That's the most preposterous thing I've ever heard. Forced marriage. Jesus H. Christ. What a nightmarish scenario. You don't be with someone because somebody told you to be with them. That's the tactic of a schemer. I hate schemers. If you want something, you take it. You take whatever you can and never give anything back.
I didn't have much choice.
But you have a choice now. Choices are the most wonderful thing, Wiener. Don't allow these monsters to control you. Next time you see that woman, you tell her everything and see how she responds. Her reaction will tell you if it's truly worth the trouble being with her. And be sure to tell me what happens. I'm eager to see how this particular story ends.
I'm scared of her sometimes. There are things about myself that I don't entirely understand, and I'm scared she'll judge me for them.
Wiener, you need to just grow some balls and stand up for yourself. Stop being a pansy and do something with your life. Don't waste your time talking to me. You need to make yourself more than just a man. If you devote yourself to a concept like I have, you'll find your life has purpose after all. My suggestion? Forget all your notions of compassion and loving other people. It'll just ruin you, because love is an insipid concept invented by mankind to convince themselves that they have any sort of good in them. It's a feel-good thing. Not once have I encountered something that could be called genuine love. Only humans would be so stupid as to come up with something as pathetic as that.
You're wrong. I love my wife. That's not an act or a feel-good thing, as you call it. I care about her.
Are you sure of that? Picture this scenario. If you had the opportunity to end this relationship, to prevent it from possibly getting any worse, to simply stamp out her existence and thus free yourself from all the pain, would you do it?
I don't know anymore. I don't know.
I love being right.
Afternoon, Jim. That's Commissioner to you. I know that. I just wanted to mix things up a bit. So, what's this about? Whatever happened to that Wiener chump? I'm afraid Mr. Weiner wasn't available to show up today. He said he needed to have a date with his wife. Three guesses as to what that means. What? Oh, just forget it. You never understand me. He's not here. I am, and that's that. But he did give me a paper of what to discuss with you. That's why this discussion is being recorded, for him to review when he comes back. Oh, hold on. We're being recorded? Yeah, so? Well, that's just wonderful. I hate surveillance. It's such a nuisance. Well, deal with it. So, on here is what we're to discuss. Take a look. Wow, that's different. Mr. Weiner was very specific. I'll say, does he really expect us to talk about this today? It's on the paper, so I take a wild guess that he does. Why does he insist on this? It's so annoying. We were doing so well, just having friendly chit-chat. I don't know what goes on in his head. Of course you don't. I, however, have had VIP access to his mind for a while now. What's that supposed to mean? He's been very open with himself. I must admit, I'm not too used to the whole attentive listener gig, but he makes it enjoyable. His issues are deeply amusing. Is there something about him I should know?
Why do you ask, Commissioner? Don't you trust him?
I don't know. I feel like it's a bad idea for him to be talking to you. He comes across as too naive, susceptible to other points of view.
What? You think I'm gonna make him my apprentice or something? You know me, Jim. I'm a one-man show. If I did have a straight man, he'd be the Bat. But seeing as he's vanished without a trace, I'm pretty content with just being a solo act.
Well, back to the main issue here. I think Weiner is just trying to get as much out of you before the execution date.
When is that again? My memory fails me.
You know full well when it is.
The end of this month?
Yes, the 31st.
You know, I never thought it would end with the press of a button. I always dreamed of my way out being something cool, like being chopped up and fed to wolves, or falling in a volcano.
Enough! We're getting off track for the millionth time. So, what do you have to say about that topic there? Absolutely nothing. Why don't I believe you?
It's a stupid thing to talk about. Who really cares what my favorite films are? I haven't seen very many anyway. Didn't grow up in a home with TV.
Really? So how do you get so intelligent? You've previously stated you never attended school.
Not your schools. I got my education in other places.
Like where?
Ah, a magician doesn't reveal his secrets. Then you'd know how he does the trick.
So, you don't have any films that you particularly care for?
Well, I guess I've seen a couple dozen or so. Taxi Driver was cool. So was Reservoir Dogs. Oh, and don't forget Seven. Kevin Spacey in that, I tell ya.
That guy had style. I'm sensing a theme here.
And then there's Halloween. Psycho. Blair Witch was just junk. Seriously, I hate shaky cam flicks.
You're such a hypocrite.
You smell funny. Beat that.
Enough. So, basically you like anything that focuses on severely mentally disturbed people. I'm not surprised. If you grew up watching things like that, it's no wonder how you turned out.
What did you grow up watching that made you want to be a cop? Did you watch nothing but Lethal Weapon and Dirty Harry? No? Perhaps Beverly Hills Cop?
I think we're done. We get nowhere with these discussions.
Oh, I agree. You're a boring conversationalist. That Wiener fellow is much more fun.
Then you have something to look forward to next week then, don't you?
That and Jeremiah Occam's birthday.
That should be a laugh.
In case you're wondering, I don't like it.
What?
It doesn't suit you.
I forgot to comb, okay? So, I see they allowed you to have cake.
Amazing, isn't it? Today happens to be...
I know, Jeremiah Arkham's birthday.
I don't like to be interrupted.
Sorry.
Anyways, as I was saying, today is Arkham's birthday. Truth be told, I didn't expect to be allowed to participate. I planned on threatening to blow up something if I didn't get cake, at the very least. Sadly, I didn't get to resort to that.
I heard the execution has been delayed.
Yeah, that's definitely an annoyance. They bumped it down to a few more weeks. It was supposed to be next Friday, but for reasons I can't name, They seem to think it best to wait a bit.
The rumor I heard was that they're having second thoughts about killing you. They want to study you?
That's even worse. I've waited my whole life for this moment, and now they want to keep me alive as a lab rat? Sheesh. And people wonder why I hate the government.
In light of this, I think it's even more important that we meet, since every day I get with you now is a rare opportunity.
So last week wasn't a rare opportunity?
I knew we'd get to this eventually.
Well, fill me in. Did you talk to the troll or not?
We, didn't talk.
Oh, I see. No need to explain further. I'm still eating.
I feel you ought to know, though. It didn't go well at all.
Okay, now I'm curious. How could you possibly mess up sex? It's simple. Peg A goes into slot B.
I know how! It just didn't do anything for me. I didn't feel anything. That's...
Good Lord. Could you even get it up?
Okay, too much. God, I shouldn't even be talking to you about this. And what experience would a guy like you have anyway? Never mind. I don't want to know.
So, basically you got no pleasure out of it. Just nothing. I'd say this marriage is...
That's it in a nutshell.
To be honest, I'm a little disappointed in you, Wiener. I thought you'd be above sleeping with a bitch like that.
She's still my wife, so watch your mouth. But yeah, I know what you mean.
So, what's one to do after a total turnoff like that?
I think I might be gay.
Wiener, I could tell from the moment I first met you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you tell me?
Do I look like a guy who'd tell you what kind of man you are? No, Wiener. This was something you needed to find out for yourself. Besides, you may not realize this, but I'm not a therapist. I'd love to be, but I'm not. No, I'm not.
I don't know what to do. What do I tell Tam? She'll go crazy. How can I stay married to her after this?
Is it really that hard to just say, look, lady, you don't turn me on. Toodles, and scram out of there?
Yes, it is, you dumbass!
Okay. Sheesh, forgive me for being realistic.
You don't understand! This is wrong. It's unnatural. I shouldn't be like that. I'm not. She isn't. I can't.
Is this because you can't screw her? Just get yourself a male prostitute and you'll be right as rain.
You sick bastard. I'm not like that.
But you're not like how she wants you to be either. If you want any advice, Wiener, do this. Tell her the truth. Usually, I'm not an advocate for honesty, but as I've said elsewhere, there's exceptions to everything. This is a situation where, if you want to know what kind of man you are, you need to face the fear and shoot it in the face. You chamber around. Take aim. And BAM! Cut, print, that's wrap. End of problem.
But I'm so scared of her.
Did you completely ignore what I said? I said, face your fear and shoot it in the face. Get my drift?
I could never do that. I'm no killer, not like you.
Well then, the least you can do, if you're not going to be a real man and just blow the hag's brains out, is tell her everything. If nothing else, it'll strengthen your trust. I think trust is overrated, personally. But you try it out and see how it works for you.
I'll I'll try it.
Wonderful. Oops. I was gonna offer you a piece to cheer you up, but it looks like that's not doable now. Too bad.
Sit down. Mr. Weiner said he'd be here shortly, so you can wait for him in this room. Now, stay put.
Oh, good God, man. Could you possibly take any longer to get here? I'm gonna take 3 guesses. 1, you look so morose because you crashed your car. 2, because you forgot to comb again. Or, my favorite, theory number 3, you told your wife your little secret, and she's completely rejected you.
She walked out.
What delightful news! Now you're a free man, Wiener. Pop the champagne and pour yourself a glass. You stood up to that hag and won.
It didn't go like that. I came home. She was taking a shower, and I decided to wait. When she got out, I sat her down, and I told her. She became very, very angry. And then I made a terrible mistake.
What's that?
I brought up the fact that I have multiple gay friends. I know. So stupid. She thought I was basically confessing to having relationships with them. She punched me and walked out. And now I have no idea what to do next.
What are you talking about? You've got a billion options ahead of you now. Think of the possibilities. Now that she's not holding you back, you can focus on more important things, like learning poker or going to a circus. I always loved the circus. Those clowns were magnificent.
You don't get it, do you? My life is over.
On the contrary, your life has just begun, Wiener. This separation is for the best. Believe me.
You told me to tell her. You pushed me to do it. And I was such a dumbass that I did exactly what you wanted. Now everything's ruined and it's all because of you.
Okay. First thing to do here is calm down. You don't have to scream to show your pain, Wiener. It's overdramatic. Trust me, I've got plenty of experience with dramatics. Second, why blame me? You made the decision to follow my advice. You could have simply ignored it and gone on with your horrendous existence. But you made a choice that will now improve you for the better, I have no doubt. Remember what I once told you. Choices are a wonderful thing. And you made the right one. Don't wallow in self-pity and despair. Take comfort in the fact that the bitch is gone, and you now have been unshackled from the limits of a relationship.
You've never had anyone. You don't know what it's like to care for someone and have them hate you.
You're right. I don't. And I never will. But that's a decision I've made for myself. And look at me. I'm perfectly content with who I am, unlike you. Come on, go ahead. Take a look. Take a good look.
Look at me!
God, I hate it when people don't listen the first time.
You don't have to yell to show you're angry. It's over dramatic.
Oh, that's funny.
I hate you. I hate you so much. You've ruined everything.
Okay, that's enough. Stop your bawling and listen to me, you sad sack of shit. I've never, ever met someone as pathetic as you. You should see yourself sitting there crying like you just popped out your mama's canal. I mean, for God's sake, I've had kidnap victims who show more balls than you do. Granted, they were stupid enough to go around copying Batman, but they still had the gall to show a little courage, even when I was seconds away from giving them a pretty little smile. And look at you, you failure. It's clear to me that there's only one solution that will get you out of your stupid depression and renew your spirit. It's something that always cheers me up when I'm down, and I think it would be healthy for you.
I don't even want to know.
Well, too bad. Here it is. Revenge. You need to kill that woman. Make her suffer. Make her beg for death. And then grant her request, like the gentleman you wish you were. Put her through the worst agony. If you have to, take off a couple fingers or something. Just make sure it's as painful as possible. Because the more pain she's in, the better you will feel. It works every single time for me.
I'll never. I'm not like you. You're crazy.
I'm not crazy. And neither are you, Wiener. People like us are thought of as nuts by society because we just want to do what we please, which is how it should be for everyone. Yes, you are like me, Wiener. Don't deny it any longer. Your whole life has been a prelude to this moment, when your true self would come forth, rising like a phoenix from the ashes of your whiny former self. You are just now discovering who you are, as does anyone who is brought to the brink of despair and tragedy. When things are at their worst, when folks are in the deepest, darkest pit imaginable, that's when they discover the truth about themselves. I reached that point a long time ago. And what I discovered was that I don't care for rules, for restrictions, for friendships, for relationships, for partners, for anything. I realized that all I enjoyed doing was causing pain and creating chaos. It was the greatest feeling in the world when I learned that. And Wiener, you are at the plateau, the point of no return. Don't resist it. Just let it come and take you away.
I need help. I can't do this alone.
Yes, you can. You just need to do it and not think about it. Thinking is a bad habit because it leads to you worrying about what will be, and that is unhealthy. I stopped doing that and just allowed whatever happened to happen. I didn't worry about the future. I lived in the moment, and it sure paid off.
Yeah, I'll say, you're up for execution. That's definitely a good payoff.
I've told you once before, I don't consider death to be a negative thing. When you die, you are free at last. So think of it this way. If you killed your wife, you'd be doing the most wonderful thing for her, setting her free. Think on that and get back to me when you've done the deed.
Hey,
It's been a while, hasn't it?
mm-hmm.
I know the whole story. We're allowed to read the papers in here. To get right to the point, ouch.
You didn't expect that to happen, did you?
Oh no, I anticipated it the moment you described her reaction to me. I don't even know the lady, and she's still totally predictable.
You saw the article about my book too, I take it?
Yeah, that's a shame. I was really looking forward to being immortalized in print. It's always a huge loss when something gets cancelled.
I just decided, what's the point of publishing something when your reputation has been utterly mutilated?
Don't worry about it. You'll probably bounce back from this eventually. You strike me as the type who'd use this as a learning experience.
It has been. You are, of course, aware that this is our last session together. Your execution is tomorrow.
About freaking time, I'd say.
In In light of that, I need to tell you this now, before the time comes. Thank you.
What?
You tried to warn me. You tried to tell me the truth about the world, and I refused to listen. But I wanted you to know that's changed. I'm different. I know now what you were trying to teach me. You were right about everything. Society, relationships, all of it. I was being a fool. I was naive. Everything that's happened in the last month, it's finally taught me the lesson I needed. And it really started with you. You've opened my eyes. And as you said, the possibilities are now endless.
You must be joking. Do I look like I'm joking? So, basically, you're just saying I was a moron and you were right. Right?
Right.
Right. Well, I'm not one for taking credit for anything, Wiener. I wouldn't say it was me. I think it was just chance that you were talking to me while this happened. It would have happened eventually. I'm certain of it. You can only go so long being with someone that crazy. This whole mess with the public accusations, it was inevitable.
Nevertheless, I still think I owe you one.
Oh, please. What could you possibly give me?
There's nothing I have that you would want, I realize that. But you deserve something.
That's awfully sweet of you, Wiener. No, really, it's awful.
If I could, I'd get you free somehow.
Wow. You are different.
Like I said, I've realized that you're wiser than most people on this planet. The world needs more people like you and less people like how I was. Weaned on the tyrannical rules of society. Tricked into thinking people had any sort of decency. Force-fed the spiel that makes people like you be considered evil by the populace.
Evil is a point of view, as is any philosophical concept. In fact, the entire idea of evil was invented as a way to justify creating rules that would oppress folks like us. I consider misanthropes and sociopaths to be a subjugated race. Everyone thinks we are evil, and thus that gives them an excuse to lock us up, or do experiments on us, or execute us.
A month ago, I would have disagreed. But after everything, it's now clear what you were saying from the beginning. I feel like my whole life I've seen the world in black and white. Now, it's like I've opened the door to Oz. Everything's in color.
I'm thrilled for you, Wiener. It's not every day that someone wakes up and smells the coffee.
Well then, you should also be thrilled to know that I've decided what I'm going to do next.
Lay it on me. I'm going to kill Tam.
You don't approve?
I dunno. It'd be a shame to kill someone with such a good poetry reading voice. The world needs more of those people.
I wanted to ask if you had any suggestions.
I presume this is to be done in revenge?
Yes, she deserves to die after what she did.
I agree. The problem is, if you killed her, you'd instantly be accused and locked up for the rest of your days. Are you willing to make that sacrifice?
I have nothing left. My family's disowned me. The public thinks I'm a cheating pervert. And I even heard rumors that someone intends to make a movie about this whole scandal. That'll be a David Fincher flick for sure. But back to what I was saying. I'm planning to find her and kill her. I just don't know how to do it. What would you recommend?
Well, let's see. There's strangling, stabbing, shooting, beheading, dismemberment, mutilation, skinning, setting her on fire with gasoline. I want it to be as painful as possible. Excellent. I like where this is going. So, which to choose? Actually, I think the one I'd most enjoy reading about in the paper would be Death by Laughing. If you can pull that off, do it.
I'd hoped for something a little more. I don't know.
It was just an idea. I'd recommend you make the decision yourself. You've done splendidly so far on your own.
Whiner. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, I just wanted you to know. Thanks for everything.
This is the end of the road for me. But I gotta admit, the last few miles were much more entertaining than I'd hoped.
Are you serious? You're actually saying?
You know what? Forget it. I'm not going to sink to that level of sappiness. I've got an image to uphold. Just because I'm dying tomorrow doesn't mean I'm going to suddenly start acting different.
I didn't expect you to. Oh, I forgot. Do you want to play a card game? I brought my lucky deck.
Why not?
All right then. Go fish cool with you?
Yeah, that's a fun one.
All right, I'll get you your cards then, and I'll give them to you.